Okay, I hope it doesn't slip and fall on me. I think we're good. Okay, so I have a topic of discussion, and it's very, very important to me, and I feel like a lot of people should believe my side of the story, I guess. Not trying to make it seem like I'm right, because nobody's perfect, and not everybody is right on everything. But my topic is the idea of graffiti and if it's considered as a form of art or a form of vandalism. Me personally, I'm towards the side of saying that it's a form of art. And we're going to break it down. And the true definition of graffiti is a writing or drawing scribbled, scratched, or sprayed illicitly on a wall or other surfaces in a public place. Boom. That's the definition of graffiti. And then the definition of vandalism is an action involving a deliberate destruction or damage to a public or private property. And I just found it very ironic that for me to be on, team art form, their definitions are kind of similar. So, I don't know, maybe I just got a very, very bad website to try to find the definitions. I did Google, so don't blame me, blame Google. And even though vandalism is more towards being, disrespectful and it's that destruction. And then the only thing that graffiti and vandalism had in common was it was both on public property.
When it's so, beautiful and pretty and artistic, and vandalism is basically what everybody who has a negative thing to say about graffiti, they're thinking of vandalism. Like, a lot of the tagging, a lot of the, people in gangs putting their mark everywhere, like, stop signs, walls on houses where people live. I don't know, just anywhere and everywhere. And graffiti is more of, even though I will admit it is still public property, I feel like it's on places where people, number one, it's on places where people normally don't pay attention to. Like, you see it, but it's nothing like, I don't know, I feel like people freak out about it more than they should. Like, it might be on a subway, it might be on a train, but it's nothing super, like, I don't know, people stress over it very, very heavily. And a good, 9-10 times out of 10, a lot of the graffiti pictures that I see, or a lot of times when people take pictures of graffiti, a lot of it is beautiful artistic visions and expressions. It's not even nothing negative or, something disrespectful. Like, they're not trying to piss people off. They're not trying to be rude or disrespectful on purpose. A lot of times it's just, the artist is trying to show you what they see. It's basically, their vision through their eyes. And I don't see how people get so, offended or get so booty hurt when they see, a graffiti on a wall on an abandoned building, and it's a very beautiful portrait. Like, I don't see why people freak out about it, because a lot of times, I consider graffiti as self-expression. And a lot of times when people when they're going through something in their life and they don't know how to get it out, and if you can't get it out through words, if you can't get it out through singing, if you can't get it out through, your emotions or whatever you're feeling through, sports or, I don't know, any of that. Other stuff, I feel like art is a way to go, because there's so many things you can do in art. You can draw, you can, I don't know, there's so many things you can do in art, and I feel like a lot of times people misjudge and take graffiti the wrong way. I don't see why. And a lot of times, the graffiti artists who do become popular or who do, get famous off their portraits that they got famous for was something very, very beautiful with a great message or meaning behind it. Like, he could have drew this beautiful rose out of a concrete that could have meant, I don't know, a dedication to a loss of a loved one, or a dedication to their mom, a dedication to, a close friend. Like, a lot of times there's always a pretty message or a pretty meaning in between the lines, and people just misread it. And I don't know, and graffiti is just a very unique way of just, I don't know, getting all your stuff out, and it helps a lot of people who do grow up, in the hood, or who do grow up with the short end of the stick. Sometimes, when they draw, it kind of helps them, make it out. Like, there's probably a lot, I can't really name all the people, because I don't know. Like, I do like graffiti, but I don't really know a lot of artists specifically, which I feel kind of bad about, because I do love the art. I just need to do my own research. Don't judge me. But there's probably so many like graffiti artists that made it out because of, their portrait that they did on an abandoned building, or their portrait that they did on a subway or a train. And I feel like when people, try to make graffiti so negative or give it a bad name, it's like, how can something that has such a positive effect on a person or a group or a community as a whole, how can that be so negative when the outcome of it is positive? I don't get it. If it helps somebody get out of the hood and helps them, get money in their pocket, helps them be financially stable for their entire family, I don't see how it could be negative just because it's on a building or it's on a subway. And half of the times people, like, they get so booty hurt when it's on a subway, when it's on a train, and half the time people don't really notice. Like, I know, because my cousin lives in New York, and he sees it all the time, and he doesn't see it as a big deal. But no, I'm just bambling on. And I feel like for people who go towards graffiti to let out whatever they're feeling, like, I'd rather have them, draw out their expression than, I don't know. There's so many other negative things they can do. So many other negative things they can, I don't know, the list goes on and on. But there's many other stuff they can do that's very, very negative and bad. But a person might get their expression out through graffiti. And I don't see that as negative. I really don't. There's so many worse things people can do, but people want to complain and moan because they're drawing.
Now, you can't tell me that this is vandalism. Look at that. Ain't that dope? I think it's dope. That's not vandalism. That's art. Look at that. That's very, very dope. That's art. Not vandalism. Again, that is art, not vandalism. I would consider this art. So,